Hey guys, welcome back. And thank you for inviting me to your home and choosing me for your viewing pleasure. That is pretty awesome. You don't have to do it, but you do it, and I love you for it. It's awesome. But alright, last review we talked about Kisses Unmasked and how basically it was a drizzling shits. Well, I got another album by Kiss that is just as bad as a drizzling shit. And I'm talking about Music from the Elder. Now, this album brought lots of controversy as they went away from their original gritty sound and the Kisco sound that I alluded to earlier. They went a completely different direction, more mature, more, basically to me, and I'm pretty sure other people agree with me, and I'm sure Kiss has said it themselves, it was an album to impress the critics. To be like, oh, I can play my instruments, blah, 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 all that good stuff, which truthfully they could play to begin with. They just got people in their ear, and one thing led to another, and we got this pile of shit right here. But it is better than Unmasked. Slightly. Let's go ahead and show this here. Of course, we got this right here. Got the big fucking table of who knows what. And of course, got a back door. Now, and of course we got this right here. I do like how it's built, done, and everything. Of course, the hand, the thank yous and notes and shit like that. But I did notice something, just so when I got this, was on here. If I can find it, let's see. Nope, it's on this side here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it from the plastic or not, but we got Escape from the Island. I know it's on there. Hopefully you can see it. And we got Escape from the Island on there. And on here, it's not on there. Oh well. Slip up maybe? I don't know. Do they think it was important? Maybe not, but alright, let's get to music. Oh, and by the way, this is my only copy. I have no idea of how the songs are actually supposed to be structured other than fanfare being first and I being last. That's really it. This is not in order, which is one of the reasons why I think the album failed so miserably. The change of sound and the fact that it wasn't in order and people are listening to it like, the fuck, But alright. Like I said, this may not be... These are definitely not in order of the story, but we're just going to talk about the music. And by the way, they did re-release this in order, but Lord knows it took them forever to do it. Alright, first we have The Oath. That is a heavy-ass motherfucker for this band. And that guitar riff is badass amazing and one of the highlights of the album. I mean, to be honest with you, I read the reviews and stuff before I got this album, and this is the first song I heard from it. And I was like, they're downing this? Really? But we get to, of course, fanfare. When I first heard this, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then, later on, I learned that this was supposed to be the intro. And it made more sense. But stick it just right there, they might as well stick it at the end of it. Song 7 for all I care. It's just pointless to put it there when it should have been at the beginning. Alright, next is Just a Boy. How high can Paul Stanley get his voice on that one? That has got to be one. It's still better than She's So European. But my God, it's got to be the second worst Kiss song there ever was. That is bad. The legend has it that Ace Frehley threw a cassette of this album before it got released and told him it was shit, and threw it on the wall, and it broke and everything, right? If this song was happening during that Justice All Day for Rest in Peace, Ace, may he rest in peace. I said that backwards. All right. Up next, speaking of Ace Frehley, and once again, one of the saviors of the album, we got Dark Light. Now, it's definitely not the best Ace Frehley song. Now, I'm counting solo stuff as well. But that guitar solo, that thing is so good. I could have gotten done without the conga drums and all that behind it. A simple drum beat would have been badass. But still, the guitar solo is awesome. Ace, once again, you saved an album. All right. After this is Only You, which is co-written by Eric Carr, who, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is his first album, replacing Peter Criss. All right. This one isn't too bad. Given to another band, I think it would have probably propelled them to superstardom. All right. After that, we have Under the Rose. Oh, my bad. Under the Rose was co-written by Eric Carr. Only You is just Gene. Sorry about that. Under the Rose is okay. Not the best, not the worst. It doesn't sound like Kiss at all, but it's still an okay song. All right. Side 2. We start with that one with probably the most popular song off this album, A World Without Heroes. I've never liked this song, and I never will. Just decided seeing, when I was probably about young adult / teenager, I seen the video for, A World Without Heroes. Oh, by the way, I did hear World Without Heroes before I got this album, so yeah, I forgot to mention that. But it never impressed me. Never impressed me. In that video, Gene crying at the end of it, nah. I can only imagine what true original hardcore fans was thinking when they seen that. I don't know. It'd be like fucking Michael Myers shedding a tear after he realizes he killed so many people. Maybe that's a bad comparison. I don't know. Alright. After that is Mr. Blackwell. And I fucking love this song. That is a great song. It's not Kiss by any means, but it's still a good song. It could have worked for somebody like Styx, I think, or, maybe Billy Squier, It don't work for Kiss, but it's still good. After that, we have Escape from the Island, my personal favorite from this album, excuse me. This song is absolutely amazing. I like to have heard it live from, but of course, with the exception of The Oath and World Without Heroes, I'm pretty sure that's all we'll ever hear live. After that is The Odyssey. And that one is definitely the worst on the entire album. Worst song by far. Man, I'm just gonna be nice and not say no more about it, because the less I say, the better. And then after that, we end it with and I wish Kiss didn't do this album. It was a mistake. They should have listened to Ace and went with the more hard rocking stuff. And I've heard some of the stuff that they've done during that time. Yeah, they definitely should have went with the other stuff. I mean, there's not too many highlights on this album, but here we go. Of course, you know, Escape from the Island by far. Mr. Blackwell. That's just so different. It is. That's just such a different song. But, all right, and of course. I mean, only use okay. The guitar riff and solo to the oath is just badass. But the the content of it and the fact that it's a story. I mean, Kiss made a reputation about partying, being a you listen to Kiss when you want to unwind, not when you want to think, and that's what fucked this album up. But all right, Kiss's music from the Elder. I'll give that a 4 out of 10. I just told you the highlights I thought was the highlights. So, all right. I don't have anything else to say about it. That's it. All right. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right.